So, George, you said it was disgraceful and appalling for Senator Lindsey Graham and other Republicans to attack law enforcement verbally after the search at Mar-a-Lago or to suggest that the FBI planted evidence. Are you concerned that those sorts of comments are inspiring attacks on the FBI, like the one that we just saw, the one that was attempted in Ohio today?
Absolutely. I mean, they're painting a picture to some very uninformed and some very sick people out there, like this gentleman who was killed in Ohio, that the government is tyrannical, that the government is victimizing Donald Trump. And there are, these lies and frankly, not just the spreading of them, but the inability of um, Republican leadership to deny these lies. They simply go along with them. Is dangerous because it's encouraging people to basically defy the rule of law. And what Donald Trump did on January 6th to stay in office, he'll certainly try to do to stay out of jail, which is to prevent violence on his behalf.
So, George, I want to talk to you about the statement that we got from the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, right? He said, he was very, very blunt after breaking his silence, just spoke for a couple minutes, said he signed off on this personally, asked for the search warrant to be unsealed, right? Doing it formally. If that does happen, George, and by the way, Trump, who is, said he wants everything out there, is now maybe going to move to block that.
Right.
So there's that going on. But how much do you think we could learn from it if we do see the warrant?
Well, I think we're going to learn that things were done by the book. I mean, I don't think we're going to learn the full story behind this investigation, which would be laid out in the probable cause affidavit, which will remain under seal. But we'll see exactly what it is the FBI and the Justice Department were looking for at Mar-a-Lago, where at Mar-a-Lago they were looking for it. And then we're going to see what they came out with, because there's going to be a ticket or a list of items that that the government is required to produce of the things of the property
Right.
that they took. And so we're going to see what it is that's at stake here. What kind, not necessarily specifically the kinds of documents, because some of them may apparently, according to some reporting, were top secret, but we're going to learn that there was a there.
And in your opinion, George, is that enough? I mean, I know there are some who say there's no way that we would have gotten to this point if these were just top secret documents. They wouldn't have done a search, that this would have gone down differently. And that if that's all it is, if it isn't, somehow related to January 6th or something, that would have been a big mistake by the DOJ. Do you share that concern? Or do you think that if it really is by the letter of the law, by the book, for top secret documents, that is still the right thing to have done?
Absolutely. I mean, let's just take a step back. Let's say you had an outgoing national security advisor or an outgoing assistant to the president who took these very boxes of materials home with them on January 20th, 2021. I mean, there would be no question that if they jerked around the government and refused to turn the materials back over, even after being subpoenaed, which apparently was the case here, I can't imagine there wouldn't be charges brought. And
that's like similar to Sandy Berger on the other side.
Sandy Berger, he took one piece of paper and stuffed it in his sock. We're talking about dozen, I don't know, maybe 24 boxes, who knows, of materials that were of the highest sensitivity. These are things that the President of the United States received. Okay, this is about the most sensitive of sensitive information you could imagine. And he viewed them, because he is the world's ultimate narcissist, as his property, and he thought he could just take them, and they belonged to him, just like the election belonged to him, just like his generals across the river at the Pentagon belonged to him. It's all about him. It all belongs to him. And some nerd librarian wants to take that away from him. Some loser librarian. No, he's not going to do that. You could see exactly how this happened, and this could be the thing that really takes him down.
All right, George, thank you so much. It's great to talk to you.